MC Hammer. We ready to get it started.
Let's get it started.
Let's get it started in the words of MC Hammer, man. Good morning, everyone. How's it going out there?
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, I got to start the day off by saying good morning to the lovely Miss Erica Kane. How are you?
I'm good this morning. How are you?
Like I said, man, I told you a little bit earlier, I'm still trying to figure it out. It's raining and things like that.
It's raining.
With all the weather down there in the South, which is something I don't miss living down there in Miami and things like that. So I am grateful to see that.
Did you get a lot of rain when you lived there?
Yeah, I get a lot of rain.
In Miami, really?
What? Rain? I'm like, what?
When I visited Miami, it was sunshine.
Yeah, okay, so. That's the thing about it. See, all y'all to be visiting, y'all ain't never lived down there. So it's so confused down there. It'll be sunshine, and then the next thing you know, the whole heavens open up.
Oh,
and
wow.
then it'll be sunshine again.
But it's like only for a second.
Only for a little while.
Right.
Only for a little while. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Triple cross country.
Yeah.
No rain.
No rain.
Rode through plenty rain.
Yeah.
But no rain.
Oh,
Wherever
nice.
we stopped at, it was sunny and nice.
Oh, man.
Beautiful.
The big homie farmer is up in here, man. It is Talk to Us Thursday, man. I want to know what's going on. We got a great one up in here today.
We
I've been excited
definitely
about
do.
this.
I'm excited.
To be able to have so many different talented folks in our area, man.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely come up there and hang out with us on the Time for You in the Morning show. You know that's got to be a great feeling. We give you an exclusive, son.
Yeah.
We give you an exclusive, son. But you know, we did talk about a little bit. I made a post last night after I did watch it. You know, TV right now, man. TV right now is working for me. I'm not a big TV person. Mm-hmm.
There are a few shows you'll watch, though. Just a few.
Yeah, big shouts out to Oprah. Oprah's making me that guy again.
Oprah, definitely.
Oprah's making me that guy again. For those who have not watched Greenleaf, and I talked that stuff on the first segment, on the Oprah segment, and I
was
still
amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
and I still don't even know the lady's name. I gotta get her name. I gotta get to that.
Can you please stop stalking that lady?
I love her though.
Yeah, please tell him to stop
Please
stalking
stop
the lady.
stalking that. She don't
Stop.
even know you. You don't know her name.
Please.
She know me. She know me. She know
Yo,
me.
for all my people that know what I'm talking about, y'all know what he doing this morning.
She know.
Y'all know what he doing. She know him.
She know.
Sure she does.
She know me. I love it.
Like Veronica know me.
Look, always got in trouble over here.
All right.
Oh man, but I already know the other shows is being watched. It's not just because they're great shows. All those guys over there all buffed up and everything like that. So Oprah definitely put a little something for everybody out there. So let's not even go there. Let's not go there, man. Man, as they do start coming up in the room, good morning to everyone who is checking in. Today
Good morning.
we do have a young lady who has a special gift, but finding out that she believes that everyone
Has this gift.
could have this gift, man.
Even me.
Even you.
Y'all better watch out if I get it. Y'all know it.
Me too much.
It's useful.
Oh man, it's great stuff, man. She does a great service, man. And a lot of times, we have questions about what happens after we pass and things like that.
Right.
And so someone who can actually do some answering with that, as well as talk to us a little bit about this great gift. We have her in with us today, the Reverend Medium Tracey Lockwood. How are you?
Good morning,
I
Tracy.
am
Good morning,
well.
Miss
I'm
Tracy.
so happy to be here. Hello, all of you.
Oh man, good stuff. Just to start right off, tell us what a medium is.
Yes.
A medium goes a little bit further than a psychic.
Yeah.
In the sense that someone who has psychic ability is going to be able to sense things about people, places, objects, things, but they may not be able to identify the source of the information that they're getting. A medium is going to be able to discern the spirits, like it talks about in the Bible.
Yep.
And classify them, feel them out, describe their personalities, really get into the nuts and bolts, and not just spirits, but also guides and angels
Wow.
too, and other beings too, because we are in a plex of a universe.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's the first thing, like even Paul would say, a lot of people in those gifts, being able to talk to other spiritual things, like a lot of people will confuse mediums with psychic, basically say, like, what's the lottery number tonight?
Right. Wish I knew.
Am I not supposed to take that shot?
Really say
Am I not supposed to take that shot?
At least
It's worth a try. Worth a try.
If should have spit them out,
I would have been right up there.
I'd have been doing the money dance.
Right. Everyone would be in training.
Yeah, you would have looked at me and been like, oh.
He asked the right question. He the one who asked the right question. As they come through the room, good morning to Michael Roberson. How are you?
Good morning, Mike Ryan.
Isha Monique Early, good morning to you, as well as McKinley Force. Good morning
Good
to
morning,
you.
McKinley.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Isha.
Oh, man, like I said, I think you was, because I know that you had a couple questions and things like that. And Phil, I've been seeing her smile like if I'm just being around the guys this week. Something about you being in the room today, Miss Tracy's got her smile a bit more.
Good deal.
When did you realize that you had this gift?
That is a really interesting question. There's kind of a couple of layers to that answer. I didn't realize that I was a medium till I was 50,
Okay.
about 2010. And I found that out when I was training at Arthur Findlay College of Psychic Science in Essex, England. They're considered the top college of mediumship in the world, actually. And I went there ignorantly because I was just wanting more training. If I had known that it was that prestigious, I probably wouldn't have gone because I'd have been chicken. But when I was there, all the mediums referred to me as a medium and also told me, why aren't you doing private readings and teaching? And I thought, I felt like Gomer Pyle. I was like, what? Me? Like, really?
Right.
You know, but the first time that I became aware that spirit was around us, I was a baby and I was in my crib and I remember my feet were about 3 inches long and there was something hung over the crib and I was on my back, so I don't know if I could stand yet or not. And I could see the faces of people coming through the ethers, and it looked like, if you can imagine, like if you're underwater and you're looking up and someone puts their face in the water, then it looked like little faces kind of like streaming around, kind of looking. And as a baby, we don't have any preconceived ideas about where spirits should stand as we get. And they say that the astral realm, which is the next vibrational realm, is about 3 feet above this plane that we live in. So a lot of people do see spirits up slightly, but often they'll arrange themselves so they look like they're in our world too, trying to communicate with us. And
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so obviously, like, this thing throughout your life just kept appearing to you, kept appearing that there's something, either you're activating them or they're finding you, or what was it? Was it more so that now you had started getting to a place where, because I know I try to deal in the spiritual realm a lot of times. I do my best to try to stay spiritually in tune. The way you explained it made me say, hey man, I might have seen some stuff.
Most of us have, but we don't label it. It's like, you know, like if you hear an inner voice saying, don't go down that street, you're not like, oh, get out. I'm hearing it, right?
Get out.
You're not thinking, oh, I'm having a clairaudient experience.
Oh, wow.
You know, you're not, you don't label it that way. And that's why I didn't think of myself as a medium. In my 20s, I was in a Pentecostal church, did the same thing. Did the same thing. Prophecy is prophecy.
Yeah, man.
Laying on of hands is, you know, energy work.
Yep.
And discerning of spirits is mediumship, and channeling is tongues and interpretation.
Wow.
So, I mean, it says in the Bible,
I never connected the two
in the
until you
tongues
saying
of
that,
men and
yeah.
angels. Well, what do you think you're doing?
Right.
If you're talking in tongues, you're
Wow.
channeling.
Wow.
You know.
Excuse me for a minute, because see, when I be in church and somebody do that, I get scared because I don't know what's going on. I be looking around, I be looking for my mama like, what's going on? Can anybody interpret that for me? What they say?
That's the point. That's the point. It's tongues and interpretation. And even the Bible. See, channeling you can channel in the language of the spirit that's talking. So if you're channeling an angel, you're speaking an angelic language.
Yep.
But the interpretation is in the language of the listener. And it is important to translate so that people do understand what's going on.
That's biblical.
So,
That
yeah.
is biblical. It says that make sure there's someone there who can translate it. As they come up in the room, the big homie is in here. Gerald Tank Rose. Hey now to the five
Good
boy.
morning,
Up in
Tank.
What it
here,
do, Tank?
as well as Mary Ray is up in here. And I always love when this fella comes up in here. Former NFL player, man. You know we're going to have some conversation about what's going on with the Kaepernick situation. But he recognizes us as a family. He says, good morning, family.
Nice.
Mr. Dennis Haley, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Dennis.
We are sitting here talking with Reverend Medium Tracey Lockwood. And I
Yes.
love the way that you have been breaking it down, because a lot of times people won't even venture out to try to understand because automatically they think it's a demonic practice.
Exactly.
Well, there are Old Testament passages that do cast kind of a dark look at what it could be, but they also tell you in the Old Testament, do not eat shrimp.
They
So
do.
if you're eating shrimp, you're going directly to hell.
I told y'all. So all y'all out there getting ready to run the Red Lobster for all you can eat shrimp,
Straight to
you
hell.
going to hell. I don't even eat seafood, but I just want to be the first one in line to tell you, hell bound.
No, and of course,
Good shrimp eating.
and I'm being facetious with that. I'm not, seriously
But no, it
thinking that.
definitely-
But
yeah.
it's, we're not supposed to judge. And if we do judge, we should judge the fruit of the tree, which
Yeah.
is love.
Yeah.
And I do know that, like all other work, that there are people that are unethical, but there are also many, many people that are beautiful spirits that are trying to help people that are there. There was a court case in California that was talking about whether or not they should equalize rates for mediums in the business license arena. And the judge determined that one of the statements in the Supreme Court was that mediums are no more inherently unethical than journalists or anyone else.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so.
Especially from the way you're breaking it down as one, and y'all gotta realize that now I'm at that stage as being a grandfather. Like, I really don't even really, I do care about people, their opinion about me,
Right.
But I'm at that place where I can say stuff and they can just say, oh, he just old. The way you breaking it down, and as one who is studied, one who was licensed and ordained to preach the gospel, the way you're breaking it down makes complete sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Of why in this day that we should at least have an ear to understand. If you're going to automatically cancel something out before you even try it or even see the parallels, because obviously, by the way, you're studied as well, because you've been able to correlate just about everything that's being said and back it up with scripture. And so that's actually giving me a little bit more
Relief.
I'm honest,
Because he kind
Can
of
I
was
take
like,
the garlic off now?
hey, because what was like,
He was
hey,
on the
yo,
fence about it.
Yup.
He
Right.
was on the fence about
I
it.
was like, make sure we got somebody at the door just in case things get too crazy up in there.
For everybody that know me,
Yeah.
I was ready to go now. Y'all now, I looked Miss Tracy straight in the face and was like, yo, I ain't buying this, yo.
Right.
But let me go back and say this. She said something to me about faith.
Yeah.
And in order for me to have faith in the Lord, because I do believe in the Lord, then now it's got me over here like, yo, because y'all know I just said I don't believe in no ghosts.
Right,
I ain't
right.
seen them. I
Right.
go through the graveyard at
Right.
night. I hangs out.
Right.
But now I have to pull back and be like, all right, it might be something to this because I believe in the Lord.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I got the Lord in my heart, it's got to be something else there. It
Yeah.
just can't be the Lord. I can't just be like, oh, Lord, bring me through this,
Yeah.
and I get through it. Or I go through something real troublesome and I get through it. Somebody brought me through that.
Yeah.
Because
That's
I
the
don't
Holy
believe I brought
Spirit.
myself
Yeah.
through it. Because when I started it, I had doubt
Yeah.
with
Right.
all in me. So somebody had to bring me through it. The
Yeah.
things I have been through in my life, somebody has been watching over me.
Exactly.
I don't know who it is, what it is, but they there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just sit back and just listen and take it in.
I love it.
I might learn something.
I love it. As they join up in the room,
Thank
Mr. Twan
you.
Reynolds is up in here.
Good morning, Twan.
Miss LaWanda Menifee, B&B Fashions, which will be in the actual fashion show that we
Fashion
have coming
Week.
up at Fashion Week that's
Yes.
going on. That's been going on in Central Virginia. We will be up there tomorrow. Matter of fact, later on in this segment, we'll be telling you how you can actually win
Your
tickets
tickets.
to the fashion
We have
show.
some for Fridays and Saturdays show.
That's
so
right.
Definitely, you want to get out there and check out Fashion Week.
Ronnie Boo Crenshaw is up in here, as well as the big homie Reggie Duckett is up in here.
Good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning, Miss Duggett, Mr. Duggett.
Yeah, man, going down all the way out there in the 757. I really like this because I feel like, and you identify and said the difference between the Holy Spirit, and this is why it's really taking me here. I'm not trying to spend too much in the church back and forth with it, but there's a difference between the Old Testament and what happened with Saul, from going to the familiar spirits, because that's where going to the familiar spirits to get his guidance, versus, because at that time the Holy Spirit had not been unleashed to us. So now the Holy Spirit being unleashed, someone who obviously understands that principle, but still know that familiar spirits are still a part of our life. That energy is here, and to be able to discern between the two and discern, that's amazing that we'll be talking.
I mean,
about
like
this
my
today.
aunt,
It's a
she's not
beautiful
here
gift.
with us anymore, but I feel her. I
Yes.
feel her with me. I'll go to her in my mind and I'll talk to her, you know?
Yes, yeah.
And I'll feel her, like what she would do or what she would say.
Yeah, they say
know?
that. I think I'm bad on numbers, but I think the statistics are that 60 or 70% of widows feel, sense, or see their beloved after
Right.
they pass.
You love me like that. You
Yeah.
feeling me when I'm gone.
that's right.
Of course, that could be a
Hey,
nightmare
baby.
for some. But yes.
Could also be heartburn.
Oh my gosh.
But have you all watched the Long Island Medium?
No
Has
idea about
anybody
the Long Island
watched
Medium.
that?
Have no idea.
I'm familiar with her, having watched her, because like I said, going into this segment this morning, I wasn't a believer, so
Have no idea. Like I said, the TV I've been watching has been Oprah Winfrey Show. I don't think she's on.
What I love about her is that she'll just go up to somebody and say, you know, if that comes to her, she's going to tell them, listen, this is, you know, your relative came to me and this is what happened, but I want you to know he's okay. And people need to know, you know, sometimes
They
when people
do.
lose somebody, they need to know that that spirit is okay.
Well, I think too, like, we're responsible for what we perceive,
Right.
and we're responsible for conveying it in a way that's loving and compassionate to another person. And she has a gift that, you know, people think of it, oh, there are people that are psychic, there are people that are mediums, but we are very different within our own practice and the way that we work. Her gift is to do public mediumship. I call it demonstration mediumship. I don't do that any longer. I did. And it's funny, about a year ago, I was thinking, oh, thank God I don't get tapped in public, because I kind of keep shut down during, you know, just to have a regular life, you know.
Yeah.
But just after I had said that, I was in Ross Dress for Less, my favorite store. Sorry, I have to plug that. And this woman was beside me and shopping, and all of a sudden I saw this very tall, black, heavy-set man beside her, and he was just kind of hanging out. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not saying anything. And I literally left the store. As I was checking out, I saw the grandparents of this woman who was Caucasian at the register.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I go to the car, my hand reaches for the handle, and conviction hit me, and I'm like,
I see dead people.
that's what my license plate says.
Oh wow, I love it.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And so I was arguing, because our left brain is our analytical side and our right brain is our creative or intuitive side. So I'm like, no. I said, okay, so I'm going to go back in there, but I'm going to walk in. I'm going to go straight back down the aisle. If I don't see her, I'm not doing it.
Right.
So I go back. Yep, she was right in the
there,
same
right
place.
there.
Wow.
And so I went over to her and I asked her, "Do you know?" Hi, I said, "Do you know Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium?" And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh my God." So I said, "Well," and it just started flowing. I said, "Well, I was born with the sight, and there's a gentleman here, and he looks like this, and he's just, and I said, he just wants you to know that he's kind of hanging out with you, and He was just like a big teddy bear. He was this wonderful, warm energy and very like patient, like letting her shop, you know, that kind of thing. Mm. And she said, "Oh, I know who that is." She said, "That's my friend." And so I said, "Well, I just had to share." And I turned around, I went back out, skipped the lady at the register. So I was like, "Whoa," like that. Right. And I thought, thank God they didn't call security.
Right. I mean, because this as something. I mean, as one who, you know, like I said, I've prophesied to people before.
Yes.
And that scares people sometimes because people do not understand at times. And so to do that, it's funny you're saying this because I've had experiences similar to that.
You're a medium.
Yeah, so I'm not. So
Tommy giving out them lotto. He giving out them lotto numbers tomorrow from 6 to 8.
Gotta get the lotto numbers.
At least I'm gonna tell them they are. Don't y'all come see me if they don't work. But no, I mean, because I love the way you explained it. Because it's energy. The energy.
It's energy.
Can we talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah. When people pass, the way that I think about it is that it's like they're crossing into another room. Mm-hmm. And you can feel their energy. You might sense someone's there. But that other room doesn't have to be like a long distance from us. It can be very close to us. And the most important way to sense spirit is by feeling them. And in developing your gift, that would be the way to start out, is just sense it. You know, just learning to feel it and be aware of what you're feeling. And then as spirit communicates, they start giving us symbols, or they leave us little things like feathers or coins, or bring something to our memory, or someone mentions something and they bring a message to us. But the final way that they communicate with us is words, because that's what we use down here on planet Earth is words. And so they kind of condense their energy so that they can come through. And they say that 7% of conversation is words, and the rest is intonation and gesticulation and mannerisms and all that. And I think that's the same in the other side too. So, you know, people wonder like, well, you know, do you hear voices and do you see people? But I don't. I do sense them, but like you mentioned earlier, it's more in my mind's eye. It's more in my memory, like where your memory projects in your mind. Sometimes it's there. I've developed enough natural ability that I can sense them geographically around the person too. And you just, if you are feeling something and you don't know what it is, slow down. You know, if it's negative, best thing to ignore it and go on about your business. But if it's positive and you're curious, you know, the first thing you would do is sense, is it male or female? Are they older or younger? What ethnicity? Where do they come from? You know, what colors do I see associated? How are they dressed? And you just sort of allow, it's sort of like looking at the clouds and making pictures. You know, you're not crazy if you're looking at pictures, but they're associations. You know, they say that geniuses are people that can pull random bits of data together faster than somebody else.
Do very good on the SRA test, the analogy portions and stuff like that.
Yes, exactly. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. And the same thing happens with intuitive stuff. You just learn to recognize. We don't talk about our subtle energy. We talk about our physical energy, and physical energy is awesome, but there's way more to to us than a physical body.
Wow. I love it.
Y'all hear that? It's way more to me than just this body.
That's right. That's right. As if the body wasn't enough.
Oh, man, I know that's
You
right.
heard that?
And
This
they
little
come
body
up
is
in the
enough.
room. Suzanne Carol Leftwich, good morning to you.
Good morning, Suzanne.
Big homie Mike is up here. Mike Hancock is up in here.
Good morning.
As well as Miss Denise Henderson. Good morning to you. Thank you for all you do. For those who may not have heard me putting out as much, because I feel like by now everyone should know our passion. And I'm trying to do my best to stay away from this aspect because everyone knows this is near and dear to my heart. September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. You know that I lost my son due to sickle cell, and so we do all we can to advocate. I really appreciate all that Denise does in helping out Faith for a Cure.
Right.
But there's a question that's kind of interesting that Mike would ask. Mike, it was two things. He said something before, which I'm gonna kind of try to put both of them out there. One, he believes that his mom, which I'm assuming may no longer be here with us, that he sees her spirit in his daughter. And then secondly, he's asking, what about butterflies? Do they have spiritual values? Heard they are loved ones when they come around.
Like white butterflies.
Just making a note so I can keep my brain straight while I fly.
No problem.
We children and animals and people are natural channelers.
Okay.
Which means that when we're kind of clouds of energy, and so as one cloud of energy comes in contact with the edges of another cloud of energy, sometimes, people that are particularly empathic, they are very sensitive to energies, they'll start picking up the emotions and feelings and sometimes thoughts, which is a telepathy ability, and they might pick up the mannerisms of that person unconsciously. Like when I'm bringing someone through, for example, one time I was reading for someone and I kept taking my ring on and off my finger, and I don't ever do that. And I looked down and I had been channeling her father, and she just goes, "Oh yeah, he used to do that." Well, how would I know that, right? So when we get in the energy cloud of someone that's on the other side, their energy is still energy. Matter's never destroyed. It's just transformed.
Yep.
And so our personality and our energy is the same, although we do continue to progress just like we do in the earth too. But it's likely that, I would have to actually go into reading mode to be able to discern whether or not it's actually a reincarnation situation.
Sure.
But my guess in general, it's usually the influence, and it means that she's very close and helping that child, looking over that child. That's usually what's going on there. There are a few exceptions, but it's rare for it to be, because we travel in soul groups, so we don't tend to reincarnate in the same lifetime. It takes a lot of energy to come into the physical world, so it's rare. And butterflies definitely are significant, especially if you're noting a particular type or just butterflies in general, and your thoughts go to that person. The reason that works is that the spirit has no way to reach you. And we think about us reaching out to spirit, but actually they're also wanting to communicate with us. So they'll take something that draws our focus. Energy follows focus. We're made out of energy. We look at that butterfly. They've intensified their presence near that butterfly, and we can sense, oh, it's my grandmother.
Right.
And then we're thinking, is my grandmother a butterfly? No, she's not. She's drawing you to that, and that's like her code. My dad uses a mourning dove, and I have lots of stories
I've
about
seen white
that.
butterflies, and I say, okay, my aunt's here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's her language. She's using
Yeah.
those symbols. We were talking about feelings, going through symbols into words. So she's coming towards you and giving you those symbols.
A lot of times I tell
Yeah.
people to stay away from like bees, because my son, one of the cutest pictures that he had, it was a bumblebee for like one of his first Halloweens. For one of his first Halloween, he was a bumblebee. And so after he passed, it was, you know, it was come times that I would like, it would be a bee or something around me that would just kind of be around. And no matter, like, I've never been one to just swat bees and stuff like that, but I kind of just let them do their thing. But it was like the persistence of this bee or whatever like that would make me say, oh my God, okay, that's him, he's here type deal, you know.
Yes.
I love the fact of thinking about the butterfly, because I feel like a butterfly is the closest to your breakdown of what we do when we pass. A butterfly, here we on Earth, we're crawling as a caterpillar, you know, getting around. But when we go to our metamorphosis, when we go into that next phase and we fly away, we become this butterfly. Beautiful thing going on there. So that's very interesting, man. As Denise Anderson said, very interesting that on that, man. Good stuff. Good stuff.
And
Come on, man.
Michael McGeorge is also saying he was at a funeral and the groom's father had passed and the butterfly never left the ceremony.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. One of the reasons that it sounds odd, but one of the things that I really love to do are both weddings and funerals, because I feel like I want to give respect for those that have crossed. And it's interesting being aware of those energies in a funeral. There are times when I can see the person trying to get the attention of the people that are grieving and confirm that they're okay, and you know, some other things that are really emotional, some that are kind of funny.
So, Miss Tracy, I'm gonna need you. If anything happened to me, I'm gonna need you at my funeral, right? So when I sit up and I point at them two people that I want out, you turn around and you look at it and you tell them to get out.
Get out of there.
Yes, sir. I'll make sure you have a voice if I survive you. Of course.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
As the big homie Vince King jumps up in the room, good morning to you, sir. This is Callie McNew of the university. Of course, always Star City Clothing. We wearing that rocket, that appreciate.
Good morning, Callie.
Newly married Miss Pinky Lee Cook is up.
Congratulations, Pinky.
How are you? Thanks for joining up in the room, man. We are talking about it. Miss Medium Tracey Lockwood.com is where you do your thing, man. Also have your radio show. Tell us a little bit about what they get when they come to either one of those places.
Well, I put the episodes of my radio show on my YouTube channel. So I have probably over 100 shows on there. Half of them are on hardcore mediumship development. And the other half, a little bit more than half, are guests that I've had on my show. Everybody from the unknown to the famous, and talking about all different aspects of mediumship, yes, but also energy medicine and alternative healing techniques like sound healing, spirit artists, all kinds of very interesting things. And you just go to YouTube and put in Medium Tracey Lockwood and you will find me.
Right.
Okay.
Because honestly, they can also, because from my understanding, what you're saying, a lot of people might think this is something you just gotta know from birth that you have, but this is something you can actually cultivate if you have the desire. So, and is that kind of what you teach as well? Train?
Yeah. I thank you. I love to teach. I absolutely love to teach, and because it is so healing for people to trust what they're getting and to move past and see things from such a different perspective and be able to help others also with that gift. And people think, oh, no, it's just a gift. You either have it or you don't. But Bible says desire the best gifts, so why not try? And I teach a 12-week professional psychic mediumship certification program that is taught twice a year, and it's for all levels of practice. I have different levels of certification based on what people do: intuitive arts specialist, professional psychic, professional medium. And there's also an award of excellence for people that can do life-changing readings on a regular basis. I'm in my second round of that. I've got 10 students, and they come from all over the world. I teach it by Zoom, which is a webinar platform. So it's like a live classroom, and we break people out in little rooms, like one-on-one, to do their exercises. But I've got 10 students, 2 from Puerto Rico. They have survived the hurricane. A couple from Florida, same deal.
Awesome.
Yep.
Good deal. I got I gotta acknowledge it because I do consider myself a spiritual analyzer. I don't know if that's a term, but I'm almost a spiritual analyzer. It's been since y'all sat in this room. It's something about what you. Even though you try to, you come to me and things like that because, oh, by the way, I know there's got to be different that you run your own show. Now be an interview. It's got to be a different thing.
It's a flip.
But something about the energy keeps drawing her. And the reason why I want to point that out is you said something that I identified and said to her. She has a big family. We was talking about family stuff behind me.
Right.
You called her the heart. You called her the heart. And it's something going on in here. Something happening in here right now.
Yeah, soul sisters.
That I had to at least acknowledge, because we talking and things like that, and I'm sure, we're cool on this to look at, but it's just something that's happening right there in the spiritual. I don't know if you're seeing something or
Erica has a very open energy. She has a very loving soul, and she's an old soul. And her colors that are around her are just beautiful.
Old soul.
Thank you.
The colors are beautiful.
Thank you.
Aww, precious.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Precious.
A lot of purples, a lot of blues, a lot of the higher chakra colors.
See, she had to bring that. She had to bring that purple out, right? Had to bring that purple out.
She hadn't even seen my office.
I'm seeing reds, and which is survival and creative energy orange around you. I also see a heart that just pulses. It shows itself and pulls back.
Y'all better know. Y'all better know it. Y'all better know it.
Red is because he also gets crazy.
And
it's all good.
And
it's all good.
The
we
red,
are here.
I don't wear too much red, but hey, I see red a lot. I see red a lot.
Yes, and you have great energy. You have a lot of white light around you, which is the combination of all the spectrum.
Bless your heart.
And that reflects your spirituality.
I received that one. I received that one.
Yep, and yellow, so you're intellectual and you have a teaching capacity.
She told him he was smart, y'all.
Y'all ain't gonna never get that one there.
Tracy, you didn't need to turn that. You didn't need to turn that. Too much. Really gonna hear that.
Your secret's out.
Blue Rose Smith is up in the room. Good morning to you.
Good
morning, Boo. You had a couple more questions you want to ask. And this one, not the questions that you've been at, the one you thought about. It's something in you too. It's something you're pulling from her right there.
I always feel like I have good intuition, but then I don't listen to it the way I should.
Sometimes I don't either.
So how do you really become in tune? Because you have to be in tune to do what you do.
It really does help. I do think it's a natural ability. It's not supernatural. It's supernatural for us to use this part of ourselves. But it's not supported, like in our school systems. They're just about the left brain. They're about analytical ability. You might get some creative arts in there that kind of spill into the right brain with music or art or dance or writing or something like that. But usually we're just there. And so practice makes perfect, but it's also that it builds our confidence. One of the things that I loved that they told us at Arthur Findlay was that we can't give you confidence, but we can give you exercises that will show you what you can do rather than what you can't do. And it's a natural process. And for a lot of people, they know they've got something, but it's, often been hurt over life path, you know?
Right.
And so what do you do when you get hurt? You close down, right? Because you don't want to feel. And also, if you've had a lot of negative feelings, you tend to shut down. But when you shut down, you also shut down the positive because you can't be selective and just, feel the good. What were you gonna say?
No, I'm just you talking, lady. You talking, Medium Tracey. I love it. You're talking.
He loves it,
and I believe the rest of us are loving it too. Buffy Levon Yvette said, "Is she local? I would love to see her."
Oh, thank you.
Tell them, are you local? And where they
yes.
find
I
you?
have an office here in Roanoke. I don't stay there. I only book by appointment because it would be really boring. Hi, I'm going to look at you guys. I have an office here in Roanoke, but I also do readings by phone, and I also do sessions for training by Zoom also, or Skype or phone, depending on who you are and what you want to do. So if you're in the Roanoke area, I would love to see you. We could schedule a time, and if you're not, then I could meet with you still. So thank you.
Gotta love tech. You gotta love technology. You gotta love technology.
And you mentioned animals.
Yes.
Animals can sense things.
Yeah.
Our Gizzy,
This guy.
he meows all the time, and I'm like, Tommy, he's seeing something.
It's crazy.
Yes.
He's seeing something.
Yes.
This guy right here.
Because he didn't do it before.
Aww.
I'm scared of that guy.
That guy right there, he's out of
Leave
control.
Gizzy alone.
I'm scared of
He's out of
Gizzy.
control.
I'm scared of Gizzy.
I really think that he's sensing things.
They do very naturally, and for some clients I do animal communication readings, and it's not like what is it, Cesar Ramirez or whatever.
Yeah.
The dog whisperer.
Yeah, it's not like
Not
that.
like that.
What I do is I have an ability to connect with animals, but also to see how they shared a past life with my clients. And the first time that happened, it blew my mind.
Stop.
Hold on, Miss Tracy. Hold on. So you can talk to animals?
Yes.
I got a goldfish up the street. What's happening? I want to know what's on my goldfish's mind.
Food.
Oh my God. I love it, man.
Somebody say the pet cemetery.
We love it. I love it. And listen, I would tell you this, Mike. Like I said, she's not going to do that one for free. And you talk about doing reading. I would tell you, if you say
No.
$125.79, I'll do your reading for you. We have the same birthday, but what? 5 years apart.
5 years different.
5 years apart. We got the same birthday, 5 years. Which lets me know, bro, instead of coming up in this room every morning, we got to be doing some stuff together. You should be over here with us so we can go ahead and blow this thing out so we can really spotlight those people who
Is it
come
all
in
right
here.
to post her number on our feed
Oh,
for people
absolutely.
who want it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I'll put her number on our feed after the show.
And the
Thank
website.
you.
And the website.
And
We're
the
definitely going to put
website,
those
too.
up there,
Thank you
man.
very much.
I'm going to take a ride in the Mustang to see dead people. I don't know what y'all going to do,
right.
but I know what I'm going to do.
You'll be back after lunch.
I'll be back
That's
after
right.
lunch with a new perspective on everything.
We'll take the top down.
You hear that? Her car ain't got no roof. She ain't got no roof on the car.
I love it. I love it. Yes, Boo. That's one thing she says. You can't call in. Can't call in right now for a reading.
No.
But we'll definitely
But they
set that
can
up.
ask questions.
Yes, most definitely. Okay. Any
If you
questions?
have a
y'all wanna-
question,
you got a
you can
question you
ask.
ask while we have Medium Tracey here with us. I know this because I would ask something silly like, "Will Fleming win any game?"
No, I don't mean reading questions.
I'm going to give you
But if they
that one.
have a question about me,
I'm going to give you that reading, Tommy.
Okay.
Slim to none.
Something about the energy over there.
The energy over there, go.
Something right? Something
It's gone.
over there. It's dead. It's dead for real. They done
funny.
crossed over. They not doing good.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Will my Raiders win the Super Bowl?
see,
You're
they
pushing the envelope.
They go
Pushing
the
the
wrong way.
envelope.
Going the wrong way.
I'll be right back.
As Mr. LaShawn can see, the bell jumps up in here.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I do apologize. Oh, man, as well as... Well, Callie, we thought you'd been in the room. We've been and said good morning to you. We've been and said good morning to you. What
That's
you talking
right,
about?
Miss Callie. And don't forget, Miss Callie, let them know we got that Star City clothing.
Got that Star
Yes,
City
we
clothing.
do.
And oh, by the way, not only the Star City clothing, which of course is moving right now. Big shout
You
out
don't
to
know?
all those that's wearing the Star City clothing, band, the Universal Sport. But yo, I saw him up there. Them pop sockets. I can't wait.
Yo, you seen the black ones?
Oh my gosh, what have I? The Black Star City pop socket.
Yo.
Oh man.
If you don't have one, you need one.
Yeah, you gotta get that, man. So make sure you're checking them out. Theuniversity.com. It's all about you, man. You matter. So get up there and do that
Mike,
thing.
a little sage and a little bleach. I'll clean that up right for you.
That was the question.
A little sage and a little bleach.
Can you cleanse homes of evil spirits? Was the question that was brought out.
Yeah, I do cleanse homes, but I don't do that as much anymore. I'm now referring that out, but absolutely you can.
Okay.
Because God gave us dominion over the earth.
Wow.
So we have the right to occupy our own mind, our own body, our own space, our own car, our own work area. And you would think that spirit is like more powerful than people in the physical, but it's not true. We are given the right to command that type of thing. But a lot of people think that when you clear that you have to like get thee behind me or get out, you know, kind of thing. But really, if you push against something negative, like if you push against a wall, you're attached to the wall.
Now you're attached to it, right?
So it is better to ask your guides and angels to clear the space, and then to put positive energy into the space, and then seal the portal. Kind of thing. But yeah, sage is a traditional thing. They have a new thing now that some people like the fragrance of better. I haven't tried it yet. It's called Palo Santo.
Okay.
It's like a wood that you burn. You know, you can make holy water out of distilled water and kosher salt because somebody blessed it. You know? And there are all kinds of ways to clear a space. There are 3 different ways that we protect ourselves. One is with our imagery, you know, like picturing a visualization kind of thing, like I picture a bubble around me. One is using personal objects to, you know, like if this pen were a crystal, it's nothing magic about the pen, right? Like it's just a pen. But if I set this down and I set it here, only positive energy can come past it and negative has to stay out. That object begins taking on the focus of our energy. So we're very powerful in our minds to be, you know, it says guard your thoughts, right?
Wow.
So,
see, you know I'm silly over here, right?
Yeah.
So when she picked the pen up, I'm like, yeah, that pen will have power if you writing a check or something.
That's right. Or not in my case.
You know, I love it. You know me, hey.
And the third type of protection is just asking your guides and angels. And you might think, well, we kind of have an assumption that we're protected by our angels, and we are in a large sense because they protect our life contract. They keep us safe so that we don't go outside of our agreement that we made before we come into this world. Like, I'm coming in for X amount of time. I'm working on this. Help me get there. They'll do that without asking them to, but our guides are here to help us in the physical world, and they will not act until we ask them. And you might think, well, I'm in trouble here. Why aren't you helping me?
Right.
Well, you didn't ask, and they're respecting you because you are a spiritual being.
Yeah.
And God doesn't violate our will. So they remember who we are. Really, we forget who we are, but they remember who we are, and they will not violate your will. So you have to ask them for their help and protection. Once you ask them, boom, they're on it.
I would have never thought a conversation with a medium would be so biblical. I mean, and that's what I think is the most powerful of what we're having, because a lot of times we stay in a place because we don't gather the information. We don't gather all the information that's available. Like a lot of times, we can grow up in a church, or we can go and just stop with mediums, psychics, or whatever, lottery, whatever, all that stuff is bad. We'll stop there. We won't even test the spirit to prove and test each spirit. We won't even do that. What we'll do is we'll get to a place where we've accepted the information that's been given, and we're not willing to grow. We don't have the faith to believe that something as enlightening as the sit down with you has been could now start getting us to a place where we can see more. And I think that's what becomes the scariest thing about it. A lot of people don't want to know that, hey, I do or can cultivate this power. And oh, by the way, if you really listen to it, it's not much different than what the pastor is telling me that I can do from cultivating that spirit as well.
Spiritual gifts, they're the same. And because there is nothing new under the sun. And on that line, I'd kind of like to give a holler out to all the other religions out there, because it isn't exclusive to Christianity being spiritual. You know, Islam and Hinduism and Buddhism and all the other Jainism, religions that have existed since the dawn of time. They have had their seers, they've had their prophets, they've had their sages, and this just depends on the label. You know, a lot of people probably wouldn't go around and say a medium is a prophet, because prophet is an old name, a terminology that we don't use as much today. We do some, you know, in church settings, but in everyday life, you don't hear stories at the grocery store like the prophet, Tommy P. was here, you know.
The prophet Tommy P. was in aisle 9 buying lotion.
Yes, but the, you know, the gifts are the same. They're just wrapped under different nomenclature. And really, I don't even care for the term psychic or medium, but I think it's the shortcut to people's understanding of what I do. But I hope someday that those are just, you know, I feel like there's so many people that are aware, and more it seems like. Maybe it's just my awareness that makes me aware of other people, but it seems like so many people are opening up and reaching out to learn a little bit more about what this is. And someday, maybe in the next generation or two, hopefully there won't even be a need for, they'll be like, oh, they used to call what we do every day psychic medium, you know. And hopefully our society will be a lot kinder and a lot gentler and a lot more diverse and embracing of diversity as well.
Love it.
Now, a thing in my life that scared me, like I got family in Connecticut, Jersey, New York, and all of that. So my uncle and my aunt, they come down every year, but I hadn't seen them for like 7 to 8 years. So my uncle come down, we all at my auntie's house, because everybody go to my auntie's house. So he pulled me to the side and he like, yo, come here. I'm like, what's up, huh? He like, I love you, and the Lord just told me to tell you to be prepared because something's gonna happen to the family. Lo and behold, you know, I'm young, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, ain't nothing gonna happen to the family. Lo and behold, 3 days later, my auntie passed away. And it shook me. It really shook me because
she was core.
You told me this. And it happened. So now I'm like, yo, what's going on? I'm really scared because I'm like, ain't nobody ever told me to look for something. And it happened.
Yeah. A lot of people worry too that prophecy or future prediction will be negative. And I want to differentiate. There are some things that are written and there are other things that are free will. So if somebody's a good reader, they'll be able to say, all right, if you go down path A, this is the outcome. If you go down path B, that's the outcome. But then there's that middle ground where things are life events and sometimes they happen. And, people wonder, well, what's the point if I can't stop it? What's the point of knowing something? But I do think that it helps us prepare better for things that are tragic. And I also feel that somehow at a deeper level, it lets us know that in the chaos, there is a certain order, that there is something going on that was intended, even though it's very difficult to accept. And,
Oh, man. And I think the way you put it, which we do got to get back to more music. I could do it. Hopefully you're going to come back and see us again.
Oh, you call me anytime. I'll be
come
here.
back and see us again. But I think the real thing is that the changing of the mindset about death. I think that we've always considered death being negative. We've always considered it as being the end, but now the understanding, like you said, by first of all, spirit energy that is neither lost nor destroyed, only transferred. That is physics. That's that's what Newton said. That one of them guys came up with that. That is a truth that we now believe. And so now knowing, as you said, once a person leaves, it's like they went to another room, because I have never been able to understand how when I was a young boy, my father passed. I was 7 years old. And, and I always was like, what is my life going to be like? Maybe not at the time, but now on the other side. And then to have lost my own son in the mix. For now to have lost my father, then my firstborn son, kind of was like, well, what in the world is this death thing? Now, I'm not even talking about all the other deaths and things that happened along the way, but just those two being very, 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 and I watched both of those. I see both of those happen. But now getting an understanding and being able to bring ease and comfort from what you do is a beautiful thing and a blessing that we thank we have for having you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think part of that confusion comes because we are eternal souls.
Mm-hmm.
And we do live forever, and there's a part of us that knows that. So there's a part of us that just cannot comprehend death. Mm-hmm. It's like, because this world is all we know because we're living it. And
Miss Tracey, I'm that person.
Yeah.
I mean, I done dealt with death on a level, but like I tell everybody, I tell all my friends, I'm fortunate. I haven't lost a brother, I haven't lost a sister. I still got my mom, I still got my dad. So it's like I really haven't lost anything that's really connected to me. Mm-hmm. But with this talk, I understand a little bit better of, okay, they not leaving and it's not final.
Yep.
It's like the next room.
Yes.
But it doesn't, even being a medium doesn't protect me from pain. I'm worried about my mom.
Yep.
She's okay, but I worry about her. I know, and I've had several other mediums tell me it's not long now. My dad came from the other side to tell me that, and I'm I stress over it and I'm trying to put it in a perspective that I can better cope with it, because there's a Buddhist thought that if you're suffering, don't add to your suffering with negative thoughts.
Woo.
Like,
did y'all hear that? If you suffering, don't have them raggedy friends around you just suffering with you.
The woman just love it. Can't do that.
Misery loves company. So cut on Sesame Street and be happy.
I'm Bobby McFerrin. Oh, man.
True.
So awesome, man, that you came by. Like I said, I hope you will come again.
I would love
one
to.
last time, tell people where they can find more information about you. Of course, we're going to put it up on our page.
Yeah,
but tell us where they can find more information about you if they want to do a reading as well.
okay, you can find me at mediumtracylockwood.com, and you can find me on YouTube. Just put in Medium Tracey Lockwood, and Facebook. I love friends, so come on, find me. And my phone number is 540-998-9789.
A lot of nines in there.
Yes, it is.
I love that. Any last thoughts you want to say before we get up out of here?
Just, I very much appreciate the opportunity. It was God sent and beautifully offered, and I'm happy to have found you as well. And thank you for listening.
Awesome. What you want to say to the people before we get up out of here, Farmer?
I like Miss Tracey.
Once
Once again, we're going to take a ride in that I see dead people. But like I say every morning, it don't cost you nothing to be nice. So, if you see somebody having a hard day, just say a kind word to them. It may change them. And I want to give a shout out to the voice of the UBU Awards, Ms. Lauren Harris, up in the room this morning.
All right.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thanks for coming through. What you want to say to Erica Kane?
Of course, I want to thank Tracey for
course.
coming. I mean, this has been awesome. Thank you
you
so much. And of course, I want to shout out to Roanoke, shout out to Philly, shout out to Jersey. And if your birthday is today, happy birthday to you.
Angela Fleming.
Yeah, man. It is going down. We really do appreciate, again, like you said, thanks, Medium Tracey, for coming through. As Miss Amy Saunders Murray jumps in the room, one of them Patriots. I ain't going to talk about that.
Good
the big
morning.
homie DJ Scooby is up in here, as well as my
What it
homie
do, Scoob?
Alvin
Good morning.
McCall is here. Your nephew was up in here.
Jalen Word.
Jalen was up in here. Good morning
Good
to you
morning.
all. Thanks for checking in with us each day. We are going to be, it almost had to happen this this way. If we've been doing the mingle and mix in the city, and we want to be able to go to different establishments. It's been a long time coming, but we finally came to terms to make it happen. The team will be out at VIPs tonight, man. We will be out there supporting the open mic. Love what the big homie Roger has been doing with the open mic, and we're gonna come in to make sure we have fun with you all tonight down there at VIP. So those of you who missed the mingle and mixer last week, we was in that transition. We're no longer at FPS for right now. We've appreciated to have fun when we did at FPS, but we are going to be at VIPs. So make sure you come through down there, man. And we're going to go a little bit later. And oh, by the way, coming in from the Tidewater, the ones who hold down our 12 to 4 show, the Midday Music Mix with Mother and FM, they will be in the tonight. They've been there tonight.
But they'll be on our show tomorrow.
They'll be on our show tomorrow, but they'll be on the Mingle and Mix doing their thing. So FM, man, definitely will be getting in. We want to definitely send a shout out to the big homie DJ Unique, who's been getting in. He'll be down in Charlotte tonight, definitely doing his thing down there. So Focus Radio, we can truly say we are everywhere, you know?
Everywhere.
So we're having a lot of fun with it. Of course, man, make sure you are playing for the whole weekend is going down. Tonight we're VIPs. Friday, make sure you're going to check out DJ Dink at Fridays. Saturday morning, we're going to be here with the whale. So come on down here. A lot of great vegetables and also a lot of great things. And I believe, if nothing else, if we don't get a food vendor out here, we might even pull the grill out ourselves, I think, to get some hot food out here.
Make paninis? You making paninis?
I'm not going to make paninis, but the paninis are coming. Don't worry about that. Farman said something about we going to get that grill or something. We're going to work it out. Why you looking at me with the panini?
Because, no, I don't want no panini. I need a real sandwich.
You need a real sandwich?
I need a real sandwich. But, yeah, also, Star City Clothing will be at Henry Street this weekend. Yep. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have nothing to do, don't say you don't have nothing to do, because there's stuff to do this weekend. Yep. Like Tommy said, we're going to be down there at VIPs. We're going to be out here at the Well this weekend. We're going to be down in Lynchburg for the fashion show. And don't forget them tickets now. That's right. We got tickets going out today.
Tell them how you want to win the ticket.
You go ahead and tell them. Go ahead. What we're going to do is we're going to share the post. So make sure you're paying attention to the Facebook, our Focus Radio Facebook. If you haven't already liked it and shared it, make sure you're doing that. But we're going to post, I would say around 12 o'clock, we're going to post up there the actual Central Virginia Fashion Show. What I need you to do is share that post and say, I need tickets. And for those who share, the person who shares that, that we
don't share it if you not driving to Lynchburg. Right. You don't need tickets. You need a ride.
You need a ride. But if you're going there, and we definitely want to send our support out to Miss Victoria Watts for putting together such a great thing, man. This is beautiful that we are bringing out. I'm just so happy to see so many different things that are coming to our area, to our city. I will be the winner, says Boo. She's out of control.
You know she wants to be the winner all the time.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. But the tickets will be there. And oh, by the way, you can come see us tonight at VIPs and pick them up, or come by the office tomorrow and get them. But make sure you share it. Once the post goes up, I say we looking for it around noon, and share it and says, I need tickets. We'll get those tickets out there to you. So many other great things, man. We do really appreciate the love and the support for you all coming here. We really want to be able to rid people of saying, well, I don't know what's going on. I didn't know nothing about that. I had no idea. Tell your friends that that we are here to make sure we spotlight nonprofit businesses, small businesses, independent artists, and all entrepreneurs. That's what our flight is here to do. To be able to say, hey, man, I never knew there was a medium here could do such great work, but now you do.
Now they know.
Now you know.
And she also teaches it.
And she teaches it. And if you think that you, and like I said, like when she was talking, I could say, man, I've had some of those type of experiences. Some of you may have felt like that caller or something right there, you just didn't understand it. Make sure you check out Medium Tracey, and she can actually point you in the direction to get you what you need to get going on that path. Such a great thing. B. Dennis is up in the room. Good morning to you. My homie Chucky Williams is up in the room, as well as the big homie Jeff Patterson. I see a couple of Fleming Colonels class of 92 up in there. What y'all know about that? What's going on in VIP tonight? Hey,
89 was the best year. We set the standard. Let's not get it twisted. We got the grade point average and everything up in the whole city.
Man. Hey, man, come on down tonight, Chuck. Come see me at VIPs, man. Y'all bring a friend. We're going to have fun in the city. We do got to go, man, but you can listen 24/7 to Focus Radio. And I keep bigging up. All of our shows are great. Like I said, the Midday Music Mix with Mother and FM have definitely been getting in. They got some mixes and stuff going on that's like that. But I just have to right now, this brother, and we've been blessed for him to come here. We got DJ Unique of the Lost Boys.
Yes.
The Lost Boys, Mr. Cheeks, Bass Bunny, all these great things that he's done. You seen him making the band, all these great things. He's been doing that 6 to 8 slot. And I tell you, man, been a lot of great stuff killing it right there with the call-ins. And if you are an independent artist and you have not sent your music, but it needs to be clean first and it needs to be radio ready. Don't be sending me that y'all just put out there that you didn't record it on your phone and a couple of your friends and say, yo, that's hot, son. No, take your time, record it and send it ahead. Let's do it the right way. And if you can't get that recorded yourself, oh, guess what? We got that too.
Yes, we do.
We can do that too. Hey, man, again, you can listen all day, 24/7 to Focus Radio by downloading from your Google Play, your iOS App Store, right to your phone, the Focus Radio app, or you can listen online. We're at
Focused Radio, BOBW.com.
One more time, we thank Medium Tracey for coming through and enlightening us on so much. And like I said, I really do hope you come back. But we got to get up out of here, y'all.
I see dead people.
Peace.
Great show, people.
Oh, thank you so much.